Chris Gethard Show! Oh, yes. Playing us in, as always, the greatest house band in the history of public access, the LLC. Speaking of music, we got Chumped gonna kick out some jams for us later. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All we got on panel tonight are the new big three, and we're taking our talents to the Upper West Side. Human Fish first, and let's give it up for our host, Chris Gethard.
Take a ride. Take a ride. The weirdest guy I know. It's Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night.
And how did it go?
The Chris Gethard Show. Chris Gethard Show. Oh, Chris Gethard Show. Chris Gethard Show.
We want to say hi to everybody watching live on MNN, as well as everybody who might be watching live at thechrisgetharshow.com, and of course to everybody downloading this in the future. Right before the show, Hallie made it clear she could not find her horn. Our audience would not settle without a horn. They made sure she found that horn, and she has found it. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Murph, how are you? How you feeling?
Feeling good. I had a little 50% off sushi, so my little leathery tuna, and it's fucking not sitting.
I ate Thai food twice today. I'm in the same boat. So me and you, real stomach problems. Shannon's on hiatus for the month of July. Shannon just took over as the artistic director of the UCB Theater.
Oh, yeah.
So the next couple Wednesdays, she's going to be watching new shows, making sure things are up and running. It's just a skeleton crew. Bethany Hall out tonight. Random Sandy, who knows what happened?
No.
Human Fish, what's on your mind?
Bad tilapia and bad tilapia palooza versus porridge. Ooh.
Who wins?
Bad tilapia and bad tilapia loser.
So at any moment, any one of our assholes may just fall out tonight.
There are 3 people on panel tonight. All 3 are having stomach issues.
Great.
I had my mic. We were testing the phones, and my mic was off, and I had it on mute because I didn't want people to hear what I was doing in that context. So it could be a real long night. Another reason it's a long night, gentlemen, we do not have a show topic planned.
No.
We are a notoriously open-sourced show. We like to let our viewers really be in control. And tonight, we're pushing that as far as we can. Tonight, we're going to say, we came up with this idea. Whatever the first call is, that's what the whole show is about. Whatever the first call is, that's what all the calls are about tonight. So that's the call-in topic. So we've cleared the lines, I believe. JD, is that correct?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead. 212-757-1393. Whoever the first person is, you set the show.
Why don't you give us a call?
Yeah. All right, so as soon as we have someone on the line, let me know. They will have our first call-in topic, and that will be the topic for the whole show. And we want to be clear at this. I want to be clear about this. I trust our audience to come up with something heartfelt, something with a lot of meat on its bones, something that we might be able to really
Dive
headfirst into, something that can last a whole hour. The
It's gotta be
fear.
good. We didn't even write a song yet.
You didn't even write a song yet?
We'll write this once we find out what the topic is. We'll write the song.
Okay, sounds good. The fear, of course, is that people are going to do something we have to talk about for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. It looks like the guy of the evening, the person who will define the next hour of all of our lives, Tyler from Queens. How are you? Tyler, are you there?
Hey.
Tyler, so you're our first caller. Everything about this show will be defined by what you want to talk about tonight. Have you thought about this?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't sound so confident.
It could go one of 2 ways.
Okay, so one of two ways. So you have strategized a bit, it sounds like. So Tyler, why don't you go ahead and tell us, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Okay, well, I know you are were a big pro wrestling fan growing up,
I like where this is going.
and I want you guys to talk about pro wrestling for an hour.
Murph, you are a big wrestler as well.
Yeah. All right, Tyler. This is going to be the best, the pro wrestling episode of the show.
I refuse to talk about any pro wrestling post 1995, though. Just so you're.
Yeah, I
don't know much about it.
My roommate can vouch for me. I bought the I have not watched current wrestling in a long time, but I've been going on the road a lot, and I was in a hotel in Minneapolis for like a week. I was out there doing stand-up. It was the dead of winter. Got the WWE Network. Holy shit, that's the best invention of all time. The best of all time. My roommate can tell you,
She it out like you just watch it when you're in a sad hotel room. You watch it at home, like
you
all
often
the time.
come home and watch me. This week you came home and caught me watching the triumphant tragedies of the WCCW, the Von Erich clan. So Tyler, tell us about your interest in wrestling. What are you all about? Because I have a long association with it, and we can definitely talk for an hour about pro wrestling.
I don't watch anymore. I watched growing up. I stopped watching.
Okay, all time though. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite all
Who's your
time?
guy?
All-time favorite, probably Chris Jericho or Ric Flair.
Wow, Chris Jericho or Ric Flair? Well, Chris Jericho, he's kind of cut from that Ric Flair cloth.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think there is a Jericho without Flair. What do you say about that, Tyler?
There's definitely a lot of influence, yeah.
Now, Tyler, I'll tell you, let's everybody have to say
Nature Boy.
Let's everybody talk about the Nature Boy. I'm glad it started.
Okay,
We're doing
we're
pro
gonna-
wrestling. We got to start with
We're
the Nature
gonna
Boy.
go write our song now.
What's
We're
that?
gonna go write our song.
Oh yeah,
now.
LLC. Let's go. Yeah, we need a theme
We
song
have
for
to
this. The
huddle
pro
up.
wrestling.
Okay,
I'm
we'll
so
start.
excited. I forgot.
Give us a little second.
Yeah, take your time.
This
Do it.
could have been so much worse.
So much. Here's the thing. I've been watching a lot of Flair on the WWE Network. Here's my thing about Flair, Tyler, is that he never looked like the most impressive guy in the ring, but he always looked beatable. You always believed anybody could beat him. He could sell the shit out of any match.
Yeah.
What I liked about Flair was that when he cut promos, he did it with like the perfect speaking voice, but also a really weird lisp.
He has a lisp?
Kind of a lisp, yeah.
Oh, I never even noticed that. All-time favorite Flair match. Anybody? Human Fish, are you familiar with Ric Flair? The Nature Boy? To be the man, you gotta beat the man? Okay, not as good. He was the best. Peroxide blonde hair. He was the best. He used to come to. He wore fucking dope suits.
Yep.
Great
Boas,
haircut.
He would occasionally
amazing
have a boa.
sunglasses.
He looked 50 when he was 20.
Yeah.
So he was still able to wrestle. So when he was so much older, 'cause
Forever,
he was
yeah.
never in amazing shape.
The Four
had
Horsemen,
decent
baby.
Tits.
The Four Horsemen. He always rolled to the ring with. He always had like real good, like trashy '80s cocaine type girls
Oh,
with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Always. He was the best. Tyler,
He
best Ric
survived the
Flair
plane
feud.
crash, too.
What's that?
He survived the plane crash.
He did. He survived.
Of course he
Legitimately
did.
survived a plane crash where he broke his back. Was once there. Also, he wrote in his autobiography. He was once almost kidnapped, I believe, by the North Korean government.
What was it? Yeah.
He was wrestling in North Korea, and they were going to make him like lose and then get on the mic and say that North Korea was superior to America, and he had to hightail. He had to get the fuck out of there, man. All right, Tyler, your best feud: Ric Flair versus who? Go. I got my answer.
Steamboat.
Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon
Ricky
Steamboat.
Dragon Steamboat. Yeah.
Obviously, man. Flair Steamboat,
Steamboat,
classic.
yeah.
Human drama at its finest. Human drama at its finest. We are talking about pro wrestling here tonight. The Chris Gethard Show. I couldn't be happier. Perfect timing. Thank you, Tyler, for these 212-757-1393. Call in, talk about your favorite pro wrestler. We'll talk about your favorite matches. If anybody has any pro wrestling trivia from the 80s into early to mid 90s, me and Murph, I think, would be
can
willing to
jump on
participate
that.
in that.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, great call. Let's get it going. 212-757-1393. We are talking pro wrestling tonight, and I got to tell you one thing right off the bat. The chat rats, we got the chat room up there, and before this started, the chat rats were saying, let's do a whole episode about Man Behind the Plant, and I'm so glad that didn't happen because it wouldn't have ended well for the Man Behind the Plant. And you guys think you're doing them a favor, but Man Behind the Plant, it would have been an hour of verbal slaughter. All right, let's go. Oh, wow, a call. I don't think we've ever had a call from Portugal before. Let's go to João in Portugal. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you in Portugal?
Yeah, I'm currently in Portugal.
That's awesome. How you doing over there?
I'm doing fine. A little nervous, I think.
About this? There couldn't be less consequences to
First
this.
time calling.
No, don't be worried about it at all. I tell you, sometimes I get a little excited and move fast, but that's just on me. That's not on you. I think we're gonna have a great time.
hope so, yeah.
All right, so what do you have to say about pro wrestling? What are your opinions on it?
I heard Murph saying that he has left watching wrestling, but the Undertaker streak is over, and that broke my heart.
Absolutely. And I can't believe they let Lesnar take the guy down.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Well,
this is so boring for 99%
Actually,
of the
the
people.
I think the last time I watched Monday Night Raw, I'm trying to remember, it might have been later into the 90s just because I heard Undertaker was coming back from the dead for like maybe the fourth time. But I remember that he was gone for a few years, and I remember his triumphant return to Monday Night Raw, and it was gave me some chills because I used to love The Undertaker. He was great. Paul Bearer is an incredible creep.
Yeah, Ted, you know that here, one of my favorite things about pro wrestling, and this show is inspired a lot by pro wrestling.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about it is that there is no real world thing that they will not exploit for ratings.
Oh, no.
And Paul Bearer died, and they exploited it. Who was it that stole his ashes and dumped them out? Who? CM Punk. CM Punk, our friend Pilot, immediately knew. CM Punk stole Paul Bearer's ashes and dumped them like a fucking creep, man.
Whoa.
Percy Pringle in the house. So, Zhao, is that how I pronounce it? Zhao?
João.
Joao. I apologize about that. Obrigado.
Yeah, no
Joao.
problem.
So when
Muito
the Undertaker streak was broken, for anybody who doesn't know, he won at every WrestleMania until this year. They just ended, I think, 20 in a row. What was it that got you? Was it the emotional heartstrings, or were you like, fuck that, that match was shitty, he shouldn't have gone out like that?
It wasn't the match per se. My heart just broke because Undertaker was my favorite wrestler ever. I have amazing memories seeing him, and it just killed me completely.
Now, explain to all the people out here who don't love wrestling, what is it about wrestling that can break a young man's heart? Because most people watch it and they're like, this is fucking dumb bullshit. But for some of us, it really tugs at the heartstrings. So can you encapsulate in words why The Undertaker brings out such emotions that you will call a New York public access show from Portugal to explain it?
Well, it's something really personal, so it's kind of hard to explain. But I used to watch it with my father, who's now died already.
I'm so sorry.
A couple of years ago, and I used to watch it every Friday night. It aired here in Portugal. It aired Friday night, and I used to watch it with him. He was his favorite wrestler too, and it's just great memories and all that it takes with it.
That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. That's beautiful. Thank you, Joao, for the call. All right, so we got to think of something to do as well with wrestling. How about this? How about this? And Human Fish, you tell me if you're up for it, because you don't know as much about wrestling. So when wrestlers come up, how about how about Murph and I explain to you their finishing moves and maybe do a demonstration to the best of our abilities? Is that okay? So let's get it going. So Ric Flair, figure four leg lock, baby.
Yeah,
okay, and which I believe, Human Fish, if you want to come down here, let's just go ahead and clear these the fuck out, Murph. Okay, so the figure four leg lock, Human Fish, get down. So I don't know exactly how this one works. I used to know as a kid.
Yeah.
You're
No,
lay
you
on your
gotta
back,
go on your
Human
back.
Fish.
Yeah, on your back.
How about I'll demonstrate this and then you'll demonstrate the tombstone. I think that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the figure four goes something like this. Like I put your leg in here, right? And then mine, I make the figure four leg lock. And then I just crank your shit. All right, now the tombstone. Murph, do you want to demonstrate the tombstone on the
I
Human
won't
Fish?
actually. I'll go close to doing
Yeah,
it, but
no,
I won't
don't
actually
drop
do
them,
it.
but let's- yeah.
No,
So
you
you-
gotta get up for this one, brother.
Oh no, this is Human Fish. You're about to have a long night, but it's gonna be the best. Tom from Pittsburgh, you're up next. So hold on a second while we demonstrate the tombstone. But gather your thoughts, because wait, no, or is it Justin from Texas? It's Justin from Texas. Yeah, so you're gonna go the face front. Human Fish is fucking freaking out. Okay.
Your hand has to go between my legs.
Human Fish, trust him, trust him. It's all an illusion. That's it. It's all an illusion, and everybody's saying, and that's the tombstone pile driver. The dead man. The dead man. Tombstone pile driver. All right. Ricky Steamboat. I don't remember what the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's finisher
Does
was,
anybody
man.
know Ricky Steamboat's? Off the top ropes. He was
yeah.
definitely a high flyer.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. JD, what can we use to simulate the top ropes? Let's go ahead to Justin in Texas. In the meantime, Justin, this thing's really coming to life here. We're talking pro wrestling tonight here on the Chris Gethard Show. Talk to us about wrestling. Your favorite memories, your favorite wrestlers?
Well, right now, I'm trying to stay positive, but I'm not really into the episode.
Okay, so why not?
We got a heel. We got our first.
Tell you why you should be into the episode. You got the Murph dog, Murph. You got the crystal Gethard. He has the human dog fish. And we're coming after you this Saturday.
All right. So Justin, why are you not into this?
Well, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, so if there's any way you could, like, convince me to, like, get into wrestling, because I'm not super into it.
Well, what are you a fan of?
Here's your first lesson. You're a heel right now.
Yeah. And Justin, I'd also, okay, so what are you into? We'll convince you. Wrestling's the fucking best, man. It is. It's great
Well, like,
storytelling, and
why
it's
though?
fucking always cutting edge. Here's
High
something about
drama.
wrestling that I stand by. It always indicates society. The fucking best, the first of these anti-heroes in the tradition was not fucking Tony Soprano. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin, baby. Wrestling always predicts it. They always call it, man. So, Justin, what do you like?
Wait, so are you saying that wrestling's sort of a genre definer?
I would say it's an indicator of where American entertainment is usually going. It's usually
Iron
about
Sheik
3
is
years
another
ahead.
one. World powers coming together.
Oh, yeah, man. Nikolai Volkov. Yeah, dude, Hulk Hogan is completely representative of the end of the Cold War. 1,000%.
Yes.
1,000%.
Okay.
All day,
So
Justin.
where should I start with wrestling? I don't know if there are, like, episodes to wrestling.
God.
What season?
Justin, hold on. I really want to know, what types of things are you into?
I'm really into comedy. I'm into, like, improv, stuff like that.
A
Sound
lot
like
of those,
fucking
a lot
dork,
of those,
man.
a lot of those backstage promos were improvised.
If you like improv, you will get better at improv if you watch wrestling. Everything
Watch
about
the
it is
Ultimate
just,
Warriors
it's just
promos.
dude.
pumped full of cocaine and steroids, and they just let
And
him
he just
rant
goes
for 3.5
And
minutes.
if you like
It's incredible
improv and you don't like
television.
wrestling, you're fucking wasting time because every single good wrestler is just a really clearly defined character game that they follow through and make a pattern on, dude. You love wrestling, you just don't know it because you're on a high horse for some reason.
Hey, can I say that I came into this very nice, and I feel like I'm being berated right now.
Oh, did you? Oh, did you? Because the first thing you said was you didn't like it, Justin.
I said I'm not against wrestling, but I'm not like.
No,
I
this
just
has
won't
all been
understand.
recorded, Justin. You didn't say that. This has all been recorded. You said, I'm not into this episode.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I mean, I'm the first to admit I'm being extraordinarily defensive right now, but I'm so happy. And if you had a finishing move, it would be called the fucking wet blanket. No, but I think you would like it. If you like improv and you like comedy, all wrestling is fucking good improv. It really is. And that's just a fact. Let's go to Julia in New York.
Hello?
Julia, New York, hello.
Hi.
Is this the Julia who once told me you would fight me on a horse?
Yeah.
Awesome, how are you?
Good. Most of my knowledge about wrestling is secondhand
Okay.
because I follow a person on Tumblr who's really into wrestling. So I only know some things.
Okay, so if you do name a wrestler, Murph and I will demonstrate the finishing move on the human fish.
I know there's a guy named there's a lot of guys.
Tons of guys.
Yeah.
Tons of guys.
Then I'll talk about the divas.
Okay, the divas. The
divas.
female wrestlers. Okay.
See, this came a little bit after my time.
A
They
little
weren't
bit
as
after my time as
Believe
well.
it or not, the WWF was not as progressive as we might.
Here's the thing. If you're going to ask me and Murph about one female wrestler, it's going to be the fabulous Moolah.
Oh well, yeah.
Moolah
that's
was the
going
best.
way back.
The fabulous Moolah was the best. Okay, so Julia, what do you want to say about the divas?
They seem pretty cool. I know that there's one named AJ, and there's one named Summer Rae, and
China,
there's
I know.
Okay. I don't know any of their finishing moves.
No.
I hate to say it. I know it exposes me as a dumb guy, but it's after my time that the divas came into prominence.
Yeah, me too.
I wish there was more I could say about it, Julie. I'm sorry. We're gonna
Does
go
anyone
ahead.
know China's finishing move?
I mean,
Do you know
I can't
it?
say much
The low
about
blow.
You want to demonstrate it on the human fish? To be fucking cool about it. Human fish, is it okay with you if a complete stranger demonstrates a move called the low blow on you? Okay, be cool about it. Be cool about it. Okay, and yo, to Mike on the phones, ask people what they want to say about wrestling, and if they want to say they don't like it or they don't know anything about it, we're not going to take those calls anymore. We want this to be for wrestling nerds. We want to fucking talk. We want to get it going. Shall do, he says on the teleprompter. Okay, so
So it was China and Triple H. So China would come into the ring and distract whoever Triple H was wrestling.
Just do it. Let's do it.
So you're Triple H.
Uh-huh.
I'm distracting the guy, and then
Yeah.
Like that.
Wait, one more time, just because I want to hear that noise the human fish made. That's what happens when you touch a human fish's private parts? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Well, where are we? One more call? What are we doing? Okay, Todd in Pittsburgh. Or no, Joe in New Jersey. Joe, where are you at?
Oh my goodness. I'm on the Gethard show.
Yeah! How about that?
Whoa.
Hey, Joe, where are you from in New Jersey?
I'm from Hoboken.
You're from Hoboken, born and raised?
Oh, no. I go to school in Hoboken. I'm from Sayreville, New Jersey.
Yeah, literally no one's from Hoboken. I've never met a person from Hoboken. Right? So you're from Sayreville. Okay, that's Mike Yerg territory. That's Mike Yerg territory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mikey, you're down from near Sayreville, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is. So, Joe, what do you want to talk about with wrestling tonight? Tonight's show's all about pro wrestling. We're demonstrating moves on the human fish. Any favorite wrestlers, wrestling memories? Okay, awesome. Wait, when we come back from, I'll call for it. Okay, Joe, talk to me.
So, I actually did wrestling in high school.
Oh, you did for real wrestling. Okay.
I did for real wrestling.
Uh-huh.
So I do have this, attachment to wrestling.
Okay.
And I was never crazy into pro wrestling, but, I was aware of it. And I have actually a friend right now who's crazy into it.
Uh-huh.
But I would say my all-time favorite wrestler is John Cena, right? You can't see me.
Really? Because here's the thing about John Cena, is everyone I've ever met is convinced that he fucking sucks. Because here's my problem with John Cena, because he's after your time, or mostly after my time. Here's why I can't get behind John Cena, because I do think he's a charismatic dude. Denim shorts, bro. Denim shorts in 2014, bro. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I think you can pull it off quite well, but that's just me. Right?
Really?
Like, come on.
Wouldn't you like a guy like Kurt Angle or someone who's
men ever.
an actual wrestler?
You see, his, guns? He's just like, oh, and you can't see him.
Well, we all want to fuck John Cena, but
we're talking about the
about
wrestling, not the
talents.
fuckability. Murph, you'd spend an evening in bed with John Cena?
yeah, he'd spend an evening in bed with me.
Yes!
You heard it, Cena.
All right, Joe, thank you for the call. Enjoy Hoboken, but right now I have to welcome our very special guest. A few months back, Hallie, my roommate, came home. She's like, yo, I just saw this band. We're going to go see them. They fucking ruled. And then they played at Lulu's in Greenpoint, and I did go and see them, and she was right. This band fucking rules. I was so excited when we announced they were coming on the show. So many people on Twitter got excited. Cannot wait. I think our crowd's going to love them. They're playing the Gigawatt Festival in Brooklyn on July 18th. July 18th. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to welcome Chumped!
Hey, we're pro wrestling.
Drinking coffee, I'm looking at you. You're looking through.
think of that?
That's where music should be headed.
That's where music should be headed, says Banana Man. Wow, a thoughtful analysis by Banana Man tonight. Chump, ladies and gentlemen, my suggestion to you is support everything those guys do. They are the best. Tonight's episode is about pro wrestling. Let's hit it, LLC.
Tyler says he wants to talk about pro wrestling, and anything that Tyler says goes. Tyler says he wants to talk about pro wrestling, and here is everything that we know. There are dudes and masks. Pile is the name of a move. There's a face, a heel, and Vince McMahon is somehow involved. Tyler says he wants to talk about pro wrestling, and that was everything that we know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that quick. All right, new rule, you have to name a wrestler, and we have to demonstrate the finisher. No more of this stuff like, oh, I don't like wrestling. So what?
Yeah.
Then don't fucking
You
call.
had to have heard of one wrestler.
Yeah.
Patty the Beef DeVoe.
What? Say more. What did you just say?
Patty the Beef DeVoe
That is not a person.
versus Charlie Crab Cakes Showcock. Patty the Beef DeVoe.
Wait, what was the Beef's finishing move? I forgot.
I don't know. Those are not real people. Let's go to Todd in Pittsburgh. Todd, hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Todd, you're the best. I miss you. It's been a while since we've talked. How are you?
I'm doing well, man, especially because pro wrestling is everything that I love.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're on the phone then. So tell us, what do you love about it? If you had to pick a favorite all time, who we talking?
Well, this is one of these times that I get drunk and call your show, so let's start off there.
Yeah, Todd, that always ends well. Also, somebody needs to text my brother and tell him we're talking about pro wrestling and that he needs to call ASAP. Anybody who has my brother's info needs to get in touch with him right now.
I agree with that, but,
Yeah.
like, growing up, honestly, it's the first thing I remember. Like, you know, when I didn't have a parent's hug, it was pro wrestling.
When you didn't have a parent's hug, you always had pro wrestling. That's the best.
Yeah, like, you know, maybe when I wasn't making friends in school like I should have been, there was always pro wrestling, though.
Yes, even if the kids in school weren't your friend, Dean Malenko was always your friend.
The man, yeah, Dean Malenko was there for Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holes.
Yes, with his brother. Do you know his brother's name? Joe Malenko, and his father, Boris Malenko. You check your The great Malenko wrestling family, of course, Todd.
Well, the great Malenko, that was also an ICP record. I don't know if you know that.
It was. Not the first time ICP has been brought up on the show. I weirdly feel like the ICP would really like our show.
You were talking about women's wrestling and like divas and stuff. If you want to talk women's wrestling, you did not mention Mae Young. She's a pioneer of women's wrestling.
We also didn't mention Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, which is probably some of the earliest feelings I ever felt stirred in myself in a sexual way was while watching Glow.
Bro, that's what I mean, man. Like Mae Young, she was her first match was like in the late 30s. Like she was like during World War II. They watched her wrestling because they were just like, this is what women could be. She was a very strong and an independent woman, and I respect her.
Fuck yeah, Todd.
More than I respect
Fuck yeah.
most people.
We're all about that here. So, Todd, name a wrestler. We'll show the human fish his finishing move.
Yo, and this one might get weird because somebody's neck might get broken, but I want to see that Michinoku driver, baby. Taka Michinoku.
Taka Michinoku. I forget how that went.
It's just like a reverse pile driver.
Just like we already did the.
Just shove someone's head into the ground, and that's it.
But we just did the tombstone. We literally just did the tombstone.
Hello?
Sorry, Todd. That ended poorly. My bad. Let's go to Chris. It was my fault, not Todd's. Chris in San Francisco. Chris, how you doing? Long time no see.
Hey, how's it going?
It was pretty good. Wow, we got crystal clear reception on Chris.
Yeah.
That's great. Whatever your phone service is, that's fucking. It's working for you, Chris.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Did he just get cut off?
Too soon, yeah.
Wow, Chris, that was fucking bad timing. All right, sorry about that, Chris, buddy.
Hello?
Hello, who's this? Is this Sean in Long Island?
Hi, I'm here.
Sean, okay, talk to wrestling. Long Island, I would have to imagine, really loves wrestling. It seems like that place that fucking loves it.
You're actually right. My friends kind of like obsess over it, and then I'll just like sit there kind of confused about it.
Okay, talk to us. Who's your favorite? What move should we demonstrate on the human fish?
Well, I'm kind of confused about who the Iron Sheik is. If you can give like a crash course based on him, my friends like worship him. So.
Oh, the Iron Sheik.
Cutting out a little bit. I do know the Iron Sheik's finisher was, of course, the camel clutch.
The camel clutch, yeah. We
Human
can do
fish.
the camel clutch.
Please
is
lay down on
reasonable.
your stomach, human fish. We'll go ahead. Iron Sheik, we should know, it was a madman. Wore curly Q boots, was briefly the WWE World Champion, but that was only because Bob Backlund refused to lose directly to Hulk Hogan. So this, I believe, would just be that I grip under here, right?
Yep,
and then
rock it back.
And then I just do this, a little bit of this. Pull you back.
Also, the Iron Sheik kind of lost his mind in his later years.
Yes, Iron Sheik right now, well worth following on Twitter.
Yeah.
He just says lots of racist things.
Lots of racist, homophobic, aggressive
Clearly,
things.
he likes to just snort tons of cocaine.
Yeah. He
get
thinks
on Twitter.
he's still the Iron Sheik and he's still wrestling.
Yeah, all
I
right.
think. I'll give him the benefit of the
Let's
doubt.
go to Scotty in Indiana. Scotty, how are you? Scotty, are you there? Let's go to Ravi in Washington. What? Who's Scott? What? Jersey Dave's telling me give Scotty a chance, but we got to move, man. We don't got all night. Who's on the phone? Who's this?
Ravi from Washington.
Yeah, Ravi, how are you, man? I'm ready to talk to you. How's it going out there in Washington?
Greg
we talking
wants to know
DC or
what
we?
the number is.
Actually hot.
What's that?
Greg wants to know what the number is.
Yeah, we gotta get my brother on the line. You gotta come talk to my brother. Hallie's texting him. My brother will talk for the whole episode about this. He'll make you love pro wrestling. Ravi, let's talk. What do you want to say about wrestling?
Oh, I love wrestling for like years, my whole life, basically, actually with my dad. But, I've always been a fan of like the more technical guys, like Bob Backlund or Lance Storm, or some of those guys who can really go. I feel like Hulk Hogan.
Lance Storm had one of the most impressive drop kicks in the game.
Yes.
I want to try to demonstrate Lance Storm's drop kick, but I think I would honestly die. Lance Storm was, of course, like a young superstar, young cocky man from Canada, made his mark in ECW before doing turns in both WCW and WWE.
A lot of great Canadians.
A lot of great Canadians.
The Hart family,
the
of course.
The Calgary Stampede, man, the Hart family dungeon.
Yeah.
So human fish. So the thing about Lance Storm's drop kick was he got so high up in the air. So like, he came. I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know how to do a drop kick. I don't know, Murph, how. Should I try a drop kick?
I'll catch you if you fall.
But I'm gonna try to kick you with my feet. No, this is gonna end real poorly.
Just get me in the chest, not the face.
I'm gonna get so hurt. I'm not worried about you. I'm gonna miss you and land on this concrete
If you come
floor.
anywhere near me, I'll sell it.
But even if I miss you, what? Yeah, who's?
You're not doing a leg drop. You're doing a drop kick.
No, a drop kick, a two-footed Lance Storm style, a two-footed drop kick. I've never tried this before. It's not gonna end well.
No.
We're playing our suspense song.
Okay, good,
All right, we
good.
got a
So the
crew.
boys will help me. That's good. The boys will help me. Okay, so
We
how
can
are
do this
we
like
gonna do
Matrix. You can do this like Matrix style.
Okay. So just a demonstration. So I would jump up like this, and Lance Storm came down like straight up like that. And through. Thank you guys. That felt so good. Let's go to Joe in Boston. Joe in Boston, how are you? Joe in Boston, are you there? Line 2. Uh-oh. Mike needs to come back from the bathroom. I'm hearing that our call screener went to the bathroom. And that's what's going on right now. Who's on the phone right now? Start talking.
Hello.
Yes, who's this?
Hey, it's Joe from Boston.
Joe from Boston. We're talking pro wrestling tonight. Are you a fan?
Hell yeah.
Awesome. So what are we dealing with here? What do you want to talk about? Why does it hit you in the gut? Why do you think it's the best thing in the world?
You said it yourself best. It's all the storylines and the crazy personalities, man.
Joe, I love your fucking Boston accent. I love it.
Thanks. Quick side note. I have my own show in Boston here, inspired from you guys. The Craig Show. We also came to see you guys, see you do the half-hour special.
Oh, that's
so,
rad.
Shout out to that real quick.
Wait, what's it called? The Crank Show?
The Craig Show.
That sounds awesome. Where can people see it? Can they find it online?
Yeah, just search it on YouTube.
Searching on YouTube. All right, look at that, man. We're inspiring.
All right.
We're inspiring
So I wanna
poorly made
see-
television across the country.
Hell yeah, thanks, dude. I want to see you and Murph do a tag team move. I want to see you guys do the 3D Dudley drop.
The 3D Dudley drop.
I was thinking rockers immediately.
Now, wait, Mark, you remember how this went?
It's like it's kind of.
Of course,
Dudley
this is.
picks the other one up, picks the guy up, and then there's kind of like a.
Wait, you're in a wrestling match the whole
Unicorn knows
time.
the answer.
Come on up. You're on this show now. You're just gonna be on the show. You can just sit in that chair. Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge, of course, were the was Public Enemy, right? Mark, how did it go? One of the great tag teams of all time. Two just real dirtbags.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like what happens is
Yeah,
one
yeah.
picks up the other, like picks up the villain,
okay.
and then like it's kind of
So
like
you pick up the
and
enemy.
then like, it's kind of like a
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember it now. So Mark, pick up Murph. And then I would go like this and then drop down like that. That would be that. So thank you for that. Okay. We got
Tag team move finishers are great.
Tag team finishers are brutal. So we've got one very special friend of the show who apparently was watching and heard about this live. So glad he called in. If there's one person involved in our show who can speak to why pro wrestling is an amazing thing that deserves far more respect, ladies and gentlemen, on line one, Colt Cabana. Welcome back to the show. Our friend Colt Cabana. All right. Wow, half-hearted. People gave up. Colt, how you doing?
Chris, I'm great. Usually, I save it for like a Friday or Saturday to watch. I've been bombarded. I was told to call in. I'm kind of clueless what's going on. Rocco Roch and Johnny Grunge, one of them are dead. Are they both there, though?
No one's there. What happened was, tonight we said whoever calls in first gets to define the call-in topic of the show, and the first guy called up and he said pro wrestling, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Amazing. And you're doing moves?
If you name a wrestler, we're demonstrating his finisher on the human fish.
Wow. Has anyone... Now, you got to appreciate this. Madison Square Garden, of course, Mick Foley went and saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka jump off the cage.
Yes.
Has anyone done a flying splash yet?
No one has done a flying splash. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of flying moves Matrix style, so let's get Rob and Banana Man up here. So I'll explain this. And Cole, I want you to stay on the line because I have a specific question for you, if that's okay. So Jimmy Snuka, MSG, changed the whole wrestling game with this splash. True or false, Cole?
Very true.
Everybody who saw this move, all the wrestlers that came after him always say it was this. So human fish, you're down on the ground. I don't remember who he jumped onto with that splash.
Was it Mick Foley?
It was Don Morocco.
Don Morocco, The Rock. Mick Foley was there watching. Okay, so he goes up to the top of a cage fish. He's not even on the ropes. And he straight up goes.
He's also wearing no shoes, keep in mind.
Yeah, and a like tiger print fucking piece of underwear. And he goes straight up like this. onto Don Morocco. The world changed forever, fish. The world changed forever. So, Colt, if I may, can I pry a little bit? Can I ask you to take us behind the curtain a little bit?
Sure.
Well, one of my favorite things about wrestling is that you can find many examples on the internet of backstage stories where you're like, I cannot believe human beings behave that way, reading about wrestlers.
And especially wrestlers, they behave even sillier.
They behave in crazy fashion. Would you be willing to share? You don't even need to name names. Are there any particular behind-the-scenes shenanigans wrestlers have pulled that you could share with us tonight?
Well, this was a pretty known one, and it was on the internet, and I think it was pretty true that Randy Orton didn't like one of the females in the WWE locker room, so he shit in her bag.
Shit in her bag? I have heard that.
Class.
I also heard another one about Mr. Perfect when he was in WCW. He had to wait under the ring for a long time, and he took a shit under the ring.
Yeah. And the Dynamite Kid was known to just hate people so much he would just. There was a story about. Do you remember the Red Rooster?
Yeah, Terry Garvin, right?
Terry Taylor.
Terry Taylor.
Like he came into the WWF and he had like these $1,000 suits, and the Dynamite Kid hated him so much. When Terry Taylor went to the ring, Dynamite Kid just took a scissor and just cut up all of his suits.
That's awesome. That's a great way to behave. There's also
shit on them.
Now I also heard one. Did you ever read this real famous one? I recommend everyone Google this. That Marty Jannetty apparently talked about this on the plane. Do you remember that one?
Oh, there's a lot of wrestlers on plane stories.
There was one where there were like some annoying kids. There were like some college kids who were being real annoying on a plane full of wrestlers. and Marty Jannetty, and I am not condoning this behavior, but Marty Jannetty just bold-faced posted on the internet that he roofied the kids and shaved their heads on the plane. Do you remember that one?
That's actually, I don't remember that, but that's a known thing, is that wrestlers would do that, and they would shave to other wrestlers just because they were so bored on the road that they would sometimes get the guys extremely drunk or roofie them and then shave their eyebrows off. With the big
Shaving people's eyebrows off. Now, here's a great question, I think. Who are the wrestlers throughout wrestling history that are known as the legitimate, don't fuck with those guys, they're crazy and they'll fuck you up? Like, for example, I always heard that Haku was a dude.
Yes.
Haku was like never the best wrestler, but apparently he was a dude who would fuck you up for real if you said a word to him.
There's a story about how Haku was trying to break up a fight, and the cops came and arrested him because they thought he was the guy doing it, so they put the handcuffs on him, and then Haku just unbroke the handcuffs and laughed in the cop's face.
Yo. And they never even gave Haku, like, the Intercontinental belt.
No.
He was
If
like a
wanted
mid-carder.
If he wanted it, he could have had it, I bet.
All right, who are the other legit badasses?
Nails once beat the shit out of Vince McMahon, and then they had to fire him.
Really?
Remember Nails?
I do. He was the prisoner. He was like Big Boss Man's enemy.
Yeah, and you want to know why you don't see him on TV anymore?
Beat the shit out of the boss, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then someone who you didn't want to fuck with because they were they pulled a lot of practical jokes or ribs. Of course, the late great Owen Hart was known to be like a legend at that.
Really? As soon as you said Owen Hart, the crowd, there was a couple ahs from the crowd.
Yeah, but he was known as like one of the greatest pranksters of all time. And these are all stories you can kind of read on the internet. It's pretty great.
That's awesome.
Also, Andre the Giant had some legendary party stories, correct?
Man, because I wrestle in Japan sometimes, and I was watching some Andre stories in Japan, and I think I asked about a particular match. I actually asked a wrestler, William Regal, about this particular match that I had seen. It was Andre the Giant and Tony Sinclair were tagging, and I asked him like what had happened because Andre just looked mad and upset, and he said Tony Sinclair watched him legitimately drink like 150 beers before the match, and like he just couldn't be bothered to go to the ring, and he's just hammered and drunk and mad.
Love that.
Rules.
Yeah.
So
also had the shit in the bathtub.
Yes, I have heard that toilets were too small for Andre the Giant. And wait, who was it? Was it you who told me that when he was on planes that they would have to, they would lay out newspaper on the floor for Andre the Giant to shit on?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I told you that, but that's hearsay.
I love it. Okay, so Colt Cabana tonight was an unplanned tribute to pro wrestling. Obviously, it is something that has really informed your life. If you can just give us, in closing, 1 or 2 sentences, why does pro wrestling mean so much to you?
Well, to me, it's art, and I think it's the most special live theater that there is. And as a kid, it has hooked me, and I feel like that's the shit you love. It's the shit you love as a kid, and it stayed with me all the way until 34 years later.
All right, amazing. Now, we've been asking everybody to give us the name of a wrestler so we can demonstrate their finisher on the Human Fish. We've already done Flair. We just did Public Enemy's tag team finisher. We've done the Tombstone. If you wanted the world to see one finisher tonight, whose would it be?
Sure, I was always a big fan of Rick the Model Martel.
Oh, Rick the Model Martel. Of course, he sprayed perfume in his enemy's eyes to blind them, right? I forget his finisher.
He always had a wonderful Boston Crab.
Oh, the Boston Crab. Human Fish, you're going to lay on your stomach. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, the great Colt Cabana. Human Fish. Boston Crab, very simple. Murph, do you want to do this one?
No, you. All right.
Do you remember it? You sit on a man's back, you crank them legs. Fish, hold on for dear life.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, you got to really lean back. You got to really lean back, get those legs above the joint. There you go. There you go. There you go. Don't hurt that little fish. All right. Now, I will tell you this. Here's my real love of pro wrestling. I will tell you 100% is that my brother and I, when we grew up, we're 2 years apart. We're hot-headed Irish brothers. Sometimes we really battled, but there was one thing we always had in common is that we loved wrestling. Together, through thick and thin, that was something we'd always get going. The only time I ever broke a bone in my life was me and my brother. He broke my shoulder while we were wrestling on our front lawn. It informed everything. Let's go to line 4, Greg Gethard. Let's talk wrestling, dude. Greg, are you there?
Yo, Chris, right here, man.
Okay, the dream is alive. Someone has forced us into talking about pro wrestling tonight. Why do you love it so much?
Oh my! Well, the question should be, why don't I love it?
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't everyone love it?
Yeah, it's a great question.
You know, I mean, wrestling is like I was just listening to Colt say, and not to get like all academic and pretentious about it, but wrestling is like, you know, like it's theater for people like us. You know, it's theater for nerds.
For like white trashy nerds.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like a real life, you know, it's a real life comic book. I get to watch. I get to live vicariously through, you know, the stories they tell, and you know, and all parts of it are great. You know, like the actual wrestling. There's so much great athleticism, and then there's just so much like ridiculous, like awesome crap. Like when I was on hold, I was trying to think of my favorite insane wrestling characters ever.
Okay.
And do you remember the New Breed from WCW, from NWA?
They were from the future.
Yeah, in 1985, they claimed to be from the year 2002, sent back in time to right the wrongs of the past. And what that entailed is they eventually wanted to destroy Dusty Rhodes, who was the president in their timeline.
So Dusty Rhodes, which we, I think, once later ripped off with Connor Ratliff and the Keeper of the Battle Dome.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. So, Greg, we're going to talk to you more. We're going to go back to our musical guest first, though. A couple things I want to talk to you about. I want you to tell the world about the Shockmaster, because this is something every one of our fans will love. And also, I want to reveal your hidden truth that you are one of the national forerunners of a movement known as fantasy wrestling. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Oh, we will talk about that.
Okay. We will in a second. We're going to end strong with the excitement of a Gethard brother. You can hear it, Murph. You can hear
it's like
the passion in that man's voice.
Yeah, the first 45 seconds to formulate a sentence was just sheer joy of talking about that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they blew us away before. They're about to do so again. We're going to demonstrate more moves, put the human fish in more harm's way when we come back. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest punk bands coming out of New York City right now. We are so lucky to have them. Chumped is here.
Let's try that again. Ready?
Round two. Do it again.
I hear your heartbeat to the beat of the drum. Oh, what a shame that you came in with someone. While you're here in my arms, let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Like we're gonna die young. Like did or didn't take. Wanted this to feel a little more eventful. Every day the truth just feels the same. It feels the same. You keep saying there's a way out. I keep searching, but I haven't found the key. We're all running from our problems, not going anywhere we really wanna be. We wanna be.
Chumped, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. What'd you think of that, random stranger in a wrestling mask?
If that was a wrestling match, it would have been 5 stars.
5 stars if that was a wrestling match. Well said. Chumped, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like they just fucking won our whole audience over. By a round of applause, who's gonna fucking support Chumped from now until the end of time? I know I feel it. And I just want to always remind Heidi and Kiri and Zane, who are our music bookers, name me the show on television that has better musical acts than we have. You can't do it. You can't do it, Murph. And I'll put that up against anybody. Anybody.
Fallon!
Fallon? Those guys are real nice. But with the music, we're bringing the fucking relevant shit. The shit on the streets that the kids are really talking about, man. For real. Let's go back to my brother, Greg Gethard. How are you?
Yo.
Greg, let's talk about fantasy wrestling, because this is a thing. Let me tell my version of the backstory of this.
Okay.
So when I was in about, I think, 6th grade, you were probably in 9th grade, maybe younger. I might have been in 5th grade, 8th grade, whatever.
Yeah, around
we were on the Prodigy internet service, and we found a message board.
We were straight up original gangster internet geeks.
Internet geeks, for real. And we found a message board on Prodigy where people could talk about, it was fantasy wrestling. You make up your own character, and it's basically Dungeons and Dragons, but with wrestling. Now, I stopped doing this around 1997, and I was under the assumption that you did as well. And then, probably like 10 years later, I don't even know how, I came to find out.
Well, I wrote an article on for the Classical, Friends of the Chris Gethard Show, friends of the program, the Classical.
Yes.
about it, in which I finally revealed myself to the world about fantasy. The popular nomenclature for it now is e-fetting.
E-fetting. Not only had you never stopped doing it, you had become a kingpin of the world of fake wrestling.
Yeah, I'm taking. I'm taking a break now because I was just involved in some e-fetting controversy.
You were e-fetting controversy in 2014.
In 2014, I was in e-fetting controversy. I was accused of using. I was accused of my character JJ DeVille. I was accused of booking him because I was kind of running the league I was in, of booking him to win over other characters unfairly.
So people were accusing you of giving favor to a character you made up in a league that you were running.
Yeah. Co-running. It's a league I was co-running, and a lot of people quit the league because of it.
So there was a mass exodus from your fantasy wrestling league because of this very real controversy in the world of e-fetting.
Yeah, and it was completely ridiculous, and it's one of those things where people were a long time backroom AOL Instant Messenger based politicking was going on. A lot of people trying to sabotage my good e-fetting name, so I had to take a break from it. But taking a break, Chris, I'll have you know, all that means is now I'm doing an e-fed all by myself.
We will talk more about that. Greg Gethard, the man who loves wrestling more than anyone else I know. Thank you for the call. One last call. Jerry in Cincinnati, our old friend. I think this is Jerry Legend, right?
That is me.
Jerry, real quick, name a wrestler. We're ending on his finishing move. We got 10 seconds.
Great Muda. I want the green mist followed by the shining lizard.
Ooh, Great Muda, which I believe I would blow mist in your face. I'd go, and then I'd run across the ring, do a back handspring into an elbow drop fish. The Great Muda. All Japanese wrestlers walk like this for some reason. I have no idea why. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for the call. Thank you, Trevor Queen. Thank you to Chum. The best. Thank you, Murph. Thank you, Fish. Thank you, Masked Man. Thank you so much for all your help.
Of course.
Did you like the show?
I loved it.
How serendipitous.
I know.
Yeah. Who's your favorite wrestler?
You know who I've really gotten into lately? George's Jimmy Garza.
Oh, yeah, from the Freebirds. Or no,
No.
from that era.
Saturday at I'm gonna show you on the gravy train Maxie. Bob Zamunda. Jasper the Catman-Do Catastrophe. 50 Shifty Mulgreevy. Davy Powers. Zach Kapinski. Zach Morris. Kelly Kapowski.